So in this property we're working on, it's literally a flint cottage. You see this beautiful flint here has been discovered behind an old wall that the customer would like to keep and frame, which I think will look amazing. So we are now going to make good. We're going to plasterboard above and below the flint and around the sides, creating a lovely feature wall for the customer. So we are going to fix plasterboard above here, see Kris is doing there, below to frame this flint. And you can see here, significantly deeper there. So we will build that out. This is just doing some plasterboard. Got the same over here. Needs a bit more work still. This is quite a significant difference there. So we will build those two areas out in plasterboard first. We'll build them up, some plasterboard and some adhesive, before we then put the final coat of plasterboard on top. You can see it's the first board in place. That's now flush with the original there. Just cleaning up the brickwork. The brickwork will be cleaned up afterwards. All the flint there is going to be cleaned up and restored after we've done. And this is an example of where we've built it out. So we built it out with 2 layers. That is now flush with this brickwork. Never mind, this is just an internal wall, so there's nothing to worry about damp or anything like that. We will then be putting a board straight over up to there on this section now. That is now dabbed. The boards are fixed, so we need to let them go hard. You'll notice just on the joins where there's a little bit of gap, this is, bearing in mind this is an incredibly old building, so we've done very well to find nice flat sections. We're going to fill those. We've put a little bit of drywall in there. We will put some scrim, which is basically reinforcement mesh, render mesh, fibre tape, whatever you want to call it. We're going to put some over those, all the joins, and then in keeping with this lovely cottage, they've asked for sort of freehand soft curves where the board meets the brick. I don't want it to look too sharp and crisp. And then similarly around the edges there, where again the original meets the flint. So both coats have been applied. So the interesting thing about this is these details around here. So around where the plasterboard or the plaster is framing the flint, they've asked for a sort of freehand sort of curve along here. Obviously this has only just been applied, so it's a lot rougher than it will be. This will be troweled up nicely, but this is just to show the condition after the second coat has been applied. Now it will have a few more minutes to pull in a bit tighter, and then we will flatten it. So it's just had it's dry trowel. It could do one more polish, but I'm very pleased with this. So the sort of cottage rustic look is what they're after, and you'll see down here the return, the detail, all into the stone and along there, and then back up. See how the plaster just frames the original flint beautifully.